It was several days into their travel now, and they were just beginning to near the location of Goramon, the pirate world of criminals, haven for the worst, most underhanded and conniving of all individuals that inhabited these territories, a place where only the corrupt were truly welcome. As the first thing in the morning, Mika, fully dressed and prepared for the day, entered the bridge. "Captain on deck," a crew member called off, as all of the crew members stopped to salute. "At ease," Mika said, as she walked over, taking her seat in the captain's chair. "Current location and heading," Mika called out as she took her seat. "We're approximately 9 hours out, based on our current speed and trajectory from Goramon. Now passing by the Zephyr Nebula, a well-known nebula in these sectors. I'll stop. Reduce speed to impulse," Mika called out. "Yes, Captain," one of the crew members replied as he began to flitter about his controls. And with a burst of blue light, exovol left lightspeed travel, entering back into normal space. "Orders, Captain?" one of the men said, turning around after exovol had dropped out of lightspeed. "Redirect us to the nebula and take us in." "Captain, the nebula is vast, and once we're inside, we won't be able to track our way back out. Our sensors won't penetrate the dense gases and pulses of energy that flow through it. We'll be flying blind." "I'm well aware of that. We're not going into the center. Stay towards the outer rim. Take us about 10 minutes at full impulse into the nebula. That should be far enough in that no one's going to be able to detect us. We need to hide exovol before we reach our destination. It's far too appetizing a target, even with its weapons array and armaments. You can't take the chance that a large number of pirate vessels might team up to try to claim a big score. So, these are my orders as captain. I've already given exovol the command to begin construction on a heavily fortified transport pod. And myself, along with a team of others, are going to go to the planet alone. You will remain in the nebula until further notice. If we're not back within the next 3 days, then you can come looking for us. Use whatever means are necessary in order to acquire our position and whereabouts, confront any hazards that are necessary, and use whatever measures are fit for the sequence of events. I'm going to be leaving Dolus in command," Mika said as she stood up from her chair. "Orders understood?" "Yes, Captain," the crew members replied, as Mika turned, walking back away out of the bridge and towards the docking bay of the ship to see how construction was going on their combat shuttle. Mika had already given the order for the team that was to go with her to gather in the docking bay. Along with her, she was taking Obadal, Mia, and 2 members of the security forces working under Obadal, and all were present and accounted for once Mika finally reached the docking bay of the ship. As Mika looked out at the expanse of the docking bay, now far larger than it was to begin with, seeing teams of both engineers from the ship, as well as liquid metal clusters of nanites moving about the ship, constructing the shuttle in great haste, Mia turned to the team that would be accompanying her. Obadal and Mia were obvious. The 2 standing behind them weren't, however. "Okay, you 2, give me your names," Mia said, pointing at the two security members. I'm Rayless, Captain. A taller individual standing behind Dolus replied. Barik, Captain. A somewhat shorter female replied from behind Mia. Well, it's nice to meet you two. Have you enjoyed your stay on the exovol? Yes, of course, Captain. Right along with him, Captain, the two replied nervously. Okay, this is going to be your brief for the mission. The shuttle that we're going to be taking to the planet is going to be outfitted the best it can be. Top tier as far as you're concerned. And we're going to be changing out of our regular uniforms and putting on some more acceptable clothing for the location. This is somewhat of a covert mission, okay? So, yes, I'm still going to be the captain, but not of the exovol. And as far as anyone else is going to be concerned, we are arms dealers. We will be on the planet searching for Captain Fremont Dermis. Our story is clear and to the point. Captain Fremont Dermis negotiated with us for some weaponry, then shafted us on the deal. We're looking for him in order to collect. If anyone asks you about our purpose on the planet, that's the story you give them. Now, on to the more concerning aspect of this mission, and that is moral character. The moment you step foot on that planet, let it go. Any ideas of justice or right or wrong, fairness, equality, all of those things are dead giveaways that we are not who we claim to be, and they will all be tested. Even your base humanity itself. They will attempt to test you in every way that they can. They may even threaten the lives of people who claim to be innocent. Ask you to stand idly by as they commit crimes, even murder. And the kicker to all of it is that there's no telling whether it's true or not. It's possible that it's just a trick, a head game to suss out people who are there to spy on criminal industry. But it's just as likely that the crime they're going to commit in front of you is 100% real. That you'll see people die, be executed right in front of you. And if you so much as flinch wrong, look sad or upset, or be stupid enough to try to stop them, they'll kill us all, right then and there. No questions asked. This is not a world where morality rules. It is a criminal's paradise, where the only law, the only rule that matters, is whether who you're killing is stepping on someone else's toes or not. Whether you'll run into conflict with enemy criminals or someone else's business. That's all that really matters down there. Drug trafficking, slave trading, hired assassination. All of these things and more are commonplace there. So, I need to know right here and right now, can you stomach it? If they pull a gun and attempt to kill someone right in front of you, are you going to be able to hold your bearing? Can you stand by and watch them do it? If not, then I'm going to have to ask you to step away, because you're not going to be accompanying us. You'll only get yourself and all of us killed. Is this something that you can do? Mika said, a serious glare at all 4 members of her gathered crew. Yes, Captain, we can do it, Dola said, passing a serious glance right back. I'm a hardened soldier. I've seen more than enough death. I can handle it. And these two have very impressive records that I checked thoroughly myself. They can handle being in the mess. What I don't understand is why you brought her. he said, looking over to Mia. Well, 2 reasons, Spikehead, Mia said, chewing at her bubblegum. 1, I'm already quite familiar with criminals. 2, while you're down there, you're going to need to look the part of arms dealers. For that, you're going to need somebody experienced in arms, production, manufacturing, design. And last but not least, I'm the pilot of this ship, jackass. So unless you suddenly develop the ability to fly a shuttle by yourself, or repair one if it gets damaged, you could call me a primary asset, Mia said, still chewing at her bubblegum. Oh, and one more thing, she said as she reached to her hip, pulling out a plasma pistol with a whirl and a flourish before pointing it at Obadal. It's a mistake to underestimate me. I may look pretty, but I'm not exactly a nice girl. My specialty may be engineering, but that doesn't mean I don't know how to handle myself. You'd be wise to remember it, Mia said, twirling her plasma pistol around and holstering it back at her side. Good. So, we're all briefed and ready. Well, it's about time that we ship out, Mika said, looking at the ship in the background, the shuttle that would take them to their intended target, and hopefully end this quarrel with her old captain once and for all.